Hey, what's up, everyone? I got my minds on my money and my money on my apes in the house today with me. I'm here with Kuv. He is the main zookeeper of the Money Minded Apes, and Tim, aka Picasso, aka LQK. I think that means look, and he is the CMO. Welcome, guys. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. I think we're still rolling a little bit behind what your actual speech is.
Oh, are we a little bit delayed?
And then I'm hearing myself talk too.
Okay, so I'll mute when I'm not speaking, and that'll be okay. No worries. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with you, Coop. If you can go ahead and just tell everybody a little bit about yourself and how you got started into crypto and NFTs, and then we'll kick it over to you, Tim.
Okay. So I got into crypto in 2020, right after COVID started with the market crash. Um, the first thing I bought, I don't know, probably was Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then I saw XRP and bought some of that. And then it was a very fun Christmas for my family because we took out a home equity line and bought at 65 cents 2 days before the SEC filed a freaking lawsuit. And we watched $25,000 turn into $10,000 overnight. So that was interesting. Of course, I didn't need to sell. So, I was just paying the interest on the loan every month to the bank. So I just kept buying, we kept buying, and then I still wasn't smart enough to sell it when it was at $2 either. So I held from $2 back down to, 27 cents was, I think, about as low as it went again.
Will you
Um,
be taking profits this time?
for sure. Something. Um, so that was kind of my initiation. Along that same time frame, I bought a few different NFT projects over the weeks and months. One of the first was Money Minded Apes. I bought my Money Minded Ape, I think the first one in like March of 2022, and I think that was my third NFT project I had bought into. Um, and the rest is kind of history until now. Here we are. What about you, Tim?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
All right. So I got into crypto in 2019, April. This was when my company was going through an insurance claim with Nationwide, and one of my employees at the time had mentioned something about crypto, and I went to a Bitcoin ATM and I purchased Bitcoin. And then I, in exchange for this fiat currency, I received this little piece of paper with a QR code. And I was like, what do I do with this? And then we found Coinbase to transfer that onto Coinbase. Then I wound up hooking up my business bank account to Coinbase and started purchasing crypto through my business on Coinbase, and I'm located in New York, which it's very 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 regulated, and I get geo blocked on a lot of things, and then I I was fighting with the insurance companies. I was evicted from my location after I relocated, and then COVID happened, and it was just a whirlwind of just crap, and I started to, you know,
I think he's glitching. Is he glitching for you, Kuv?
I'm
Yeah, I
back.
think
You
he's
guys all glitched
very
on
successful.
me. How about now? We're good? We can thank good old Elon Musk for Starlink. Dropped out. And then I just s- started to do my research and I'm sorry, Kuv, unlike you, once I heard that the SEC sued Ripple XRP, I ran in and I was buying it and buying it and buying and buying and buying. I was going to the bank, dropping cash into the bank, and sitting there with my bucket because I knew you can't sue something that's decentralized. And the reason why I knew that you can't sue something that's decentralized is because of my background. And my background being in high end, the manufacturing of with Azimut yachts, doing their canvas upholstery and metal fabrication work. And I was a subcontractor for MarineMax, which is the largest uh, retail boat dealer Northeast or in the world, in the United States. And what they would do with these Azimut yachts is they would take the yacht, go 3 miles offshore, right? And then here's the concept: open seas, right? They make the transaction happen when they're out in the open seas. You can't do anything about it. Absolutely nothing. Because if you registered that yacht in New York, guess what happens? You're going to pay an upteen amount of taxes on it. So what they would do is they would register the yachts in Florida because they only maxed it out at $17,000. But then what happened as time and fruition went on, they made New York have the same laws as Florida. So I knew a lot about, why are you guys going 3 miles offshore? Well, when we're in international waters, open seas, you're good. So I knew that you weren't, it's just a whole bunch of smoke and mirrors. And the government, they lie. That's all they do is they lie. And they have this tactic, and it's a bully tactic, that they're going to threaten you. And it's always threaten. And it's like, okay, you're gonna threaten me? That's fine. I'm not gonna back down. Because what are you gonna do? You're gonna take away from me. What? You take my driver's license? Okay. So how, for sales tax, right? But this has all happened to me. And I just keep on questioning them. I've had um, the Department of Financial Services. They just come on up and, knocking at the door looking for their money. And it's like, well, what do you want me to do? You guys take away my driver's license, crippling my company, but I file a complaint with you guys against the Department of Financial Services, against the insurance company because I have a covered claim, and it's just like, oh, we don't know what to tell you. But you seized my bank accounts. They did. They seized them. I had to write a hardship letter to them, and you know, they released the funds. I went to my account and I said, "What do we do?" And he goes, "You're going to open up another company to get yourself back on your feet." I did that, and you know, just a lot of I've experienced so much in business and in this industry that I truly and I do my research because I went to fighting with the insurance company. I went online to Adjuster Pro and I started taking their course to learn how to adjust insurance claims. So I had the facts because they're lying to me. If you're going to lie to me, okay, that's fine. But I can't stand it. And then when I start questioning, and now I have the facts. I have the course that you're teaching in the state where the claim happened, and I have it all. And so, how does this all tie into with crypto? Is that I truly believe that an insurance policy is a smart contract because when you define what insurance is, it's not a matter of, it's not for profit at that point. You can't be making gains off of your insurance policy. And that's the way that the verbiage, right? Everything is always tied down to the verbiage of what this means. And it specifically says in an insurance policy, items in quotation marks have special meanings. That's cryptic right there. And so I've been in it for a while, and it's just, I love it, and I believe in the technology. But there's a lot of shysters out there, tremendous amount of fucked up people. They really are. And it's, 80% of people given the opportunity, they're gonna steal from you. So if you know the facts, that's it. But
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the case. Yeah, there's so many shady people. I was having this discussion this morning. It's like we like to think that, the crypto space is all good, but at the same point, when you've been through what you have, and so many of us have had to deal with our own, issues. I mean, we all believe the government's shady, and I think that that's why we are in crypto, and we should have access to our own money and be our own banks. Fully believe that. So I just want to pop it back to Cube. So when I first heard about Money Minded Apes, I'll tell you what, those I got some of those NFTs. They were the easiest NFTs to buy and sell at the time. I I could not believe it. They were just like hot. So, Coop, if you can kind of tell us the story of basically how it started and how it's going, how this
Hmm.
became a community run project.
So I can't exactly say how they started because I wasn't involved in that. I believe that the founders were two brothers from a European, Central Eastern European country. Maybe Russia. I don't know. They had filed a they had filed LLC in Wyoming. We found, after they transferred everything to us, we come to find out they did file LLC in Wyoming. They had a registered agent there. They looked like they tried to do the right things. Looked like they made no income when they filed their taxes for 2022 on this LLC. So I don't know what that means. Um, I got involved in March-ish, and I bought like one or two of these apes, and then had serious FOMO, and paid way too much XRP for the XRP king that is my profile picture everywhere. And I did okay with like flipping a couple here and there for, quick 2x, 3x or whatever. I think the NFT market itself at the time was really hot, not just in XRP, but in Ethereum as well. And I think that I can attest my own personal experience was that I had as like I had just made yeah, I've never seen that much money in one place before as when I kept buying XRP after the lawsuit was filed. And between that was December and March, April of 2021. I had never seen those many digits in one place. So it didn't feel so nuts to me to spend so many digits on a profile picture at the time. Um, how it's going is about 2 months, just over 2 months ago, the Mr. K, the guy, one of the brothers that was the founder, just up and made an announcement in the Discord server on a Sunday afternoon that he's not doing it anymore. He says, I can't do this anymore. I transferred the server ownership to Kuv and gave MT10 Gelb Retwolf or whatever is his Twitter name. I could look it up for you. So he gave that guy the admin role and transferred the server ownership to me, and then made this long-winded announcement that he wasn't doing it anymore, that he left what he believed to be enough information that if the community wanted to step up and take it over, that they could run with the ball basically in a separate channel that was private only to myself and this MT10 guy at the time. Um, and then he just left the server. And I'm like outside with my dogs as I'm reading this and totally blindsided on a Sunday afternoon. And so I come back in the house and I'm sitting down in front of my computer and people were like, okay, but where's Coov? What's Coov doing? Where's Coov? I'm like, I didn't know anything about this until you did. Immediately though, I'm like, okay, I'm here. This was really unexpected, and I'm not sure what to do now, but we'll figure it out. I'm not leaving, and we'll just all figure this out together. And then over the next 2 weeks, so he had transferred the wallet keys, and we disabled the master key. So even though the secret numbers still work to import that wallet into Zum, you can't sign a transaction with those secret numbers anymore. We set a regular key as another account that they don't have, so they can't sign any transactions to the wallet. They transferred the website to me and all the backup files. We made some minor changes to the terms of service because we did not want to. So we never, like, I personally never liked that they said that you couldn't use your apes for commercial purposes. So that was one of the first things I changed, because like if you're going to buy these NFTs, you're spending real money for these. If you have a commercial use case that is not going to compete with our community here and is going to add value to all of these NFTs in our community, why would we not let you pursue that? The other thing we did was change the website just to reflect that they left. About a week or so later, maybe a month, I got a hold of Mr. K again, and he signed over all the IP rights to us. So we are in full ownership now of the Money Minded Apes. And by we, I mean all community members. Like I don't want to I don't want to make decisions myself, because it's probably not going to be the best decision if I make it myself.
I mean, that seems like a lot. First of all, I think it's amazing, and I think Brian does too, and everyone else that, you guys both stepped up to do this and kind of take over, but why? Like, why did you decide, "Hey, we're gonna do this for the community?" Because it seems like a lot to take on.
It is a lot. Um, the biggest reason is, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I bought a lot of these apes myself. Um, but on top of that, it's like the the community is a lot of the time, you know, 90% of what makes or breaks a project. And the community that has been around Money Minded Apes for a year and a half, longer now. I mean, if they started minting their first tokens in February, March of 2022. So we're going on 18, 19 months here. It's always been a very strong community, and it is one of the most recognized brands on XRPL. So I think even though it is a lot of work and is not something I can say that I really wanted, I'm glad to be here now and excited to carry this forward with everyone, with the whole community. It's not just Tim and I that are. I would It would be lying if I said we weren't like maybe 60% of what's keeping things going here. But certainly there are many, many other community members that have stepped up and helped create content and helped get the word out on Twitter and helped just bring new members in. So it's
Tim,
a
what are your
family
thoughts?
effort.
So my thoughts on everything. Um, I I th- I thought that that Mr. K was an admirable person because of certain situations that transpired. And when I say that, it's the way that they slowly, lured people in. And because I stuck up for him, because they went, they went ahead and they tried to go do this other project, you know, and we bought, like, a couple people bought into this other project. I forgot the name of it. It was something with the,
NFT addict.
yes. And then what happened was something happened, and it just, it, they they returned the money. They returned the XRP and said, "No, we're not doing it." And at that con and gesture was what kind of sold me at that point. And but then it just, certain things were transpiring that I was like, what is going on? Like, it was always just something and something. And it's just like, all right, we can't talk about this. You can't. And I was like, oh, all right, whatever, you know. And then it, I don't want to see anybody get hurt, and so it shows someone's, in my opinion, their true character of of when you're faced with adversity, how you respond to that. And, you know, what we're doing, I believe, shows our character, and we have morals because, we're all human. You know, their actions, those are inhumane actions to defraud people. That's my opinion, and it's unethical. And so when people start doing that, that's not right. And, you know, people, it's very easy to screw somebody over when they're not in your face. But if I'm sitting across from you, I truly doubt that you're going to try to screw me over at that moment. It's not going to happen. But when you can hide behind the scenes, that's what happens, and that's not okay. So after it all happened, we did hop on a a call with Uphold because we did follow where the money was getting, and what we did was indirectly put Uphold on notice of what we thought could have happened, because at the end, it is the communities. And so therefore we put them on notice, letting them know that there could be possibly some fraudulent things that happened, because that's what you have to do, is a matter of putting another party and letting them know, hey, listen, you could be in the possession of stolen property. It could or could not be. We don't know at this point, and that's why I do feel that um, they were able to release and sign everything over to us, because they tried to hold certain things, and then they tried to blame it on me because I was putting the pressure on them, and I said, yeah, that's what we're gonna try to do, and that's okay, but we'll continue to put the pressure, and then we got what we wanted, um, and you know I believe that we will bring the utility. I truly believe it, because there's no, everyone's sitting here making more tokens, and it winds up being, in my opinion, it's what's next. Like, where is that utility? Oh, you're going to get access to this. What access? The information that we're going to give, it's it's going to be educational, and it's going, we're going to go to the resources in Wyoming and speak with lawyers. And the lawyers, you know, they're going to outline certain aspects of how we want things to happen and whatnot, because those, yes, they are the experts, but it's also that's the way that you conduct business. And I see a lot of these other projects where even foundations, I mean, one of them is Algorand Foundation handing over a tremendous amount of USD to one of the exchanges, and then all of a sudden something happens and they lose it all. And I'm like, you don't insure this? How'd you not insure when you're conducting business? Makes no sense whatsoever. And that's the problem, is that people don't know how to conduct business. Because when, for example, when I'm working at a marina, right? So let's just say the marina is now the exchange. I need to take out an insurance policy of a set amount, $2 million general liability policy, and I have to name them additional insured in case there's something that happens, right? That's the proper way to conduct business, but people do not know this. And that's where the education needs to come in. Because you know what? When you start to, break things down into little bite-sized pieces and make it easy for people to comprehend, it works. That works, because now you have coverage in case there is an accident, not just, oops, well, we just lost 2, 3, 15, $50 million. Just like that. Just like that. It's gone. Great. You know, doesn't, those type of things don't make sense. So,
Yeah, I just want to add to this real quick. So I this obviously sparked my interest, and you may have seen these questions pop up. So I want to know how much the original team made off with before they're like, you know what, we're not gonna do this anymore. Community can have it now. We've made our money off all you MFers. So hundreds of thousands of dollars that they made. And I asked how much was left? I said, was the wallet empty when they sent you the keys? And basically, Coob, you could take it. They left what they needed to in reserves, which was about 300 XRP. I'm like,
Mhm.
wow, these ass hats really now. Okay, we've made our money off you guys. We're gonna be on to something else now. You can have this.
The first collections that they sold on Sologenic, they sold about, maybe, like, would have been close to 2,000 NFTs, and the minimum sale price on these was 200 or 250 XRP, and the highest sale price, not counting the customs, was like 1,200 XRP, right? Which there was only a few of that were 1,200, like maybe 10 out of all 2,000. And then they launched these top G apes, and they started, like, some of the original holders were able to claim some of these top Gs for free. They started minting these, I think, for somebody says over 70 XRP at first even, and I don't know, I don't recall seeing them at that price. I know that I minted at least 30 of these at 70 XRP, and then shortly thereafter, the price was down to 10. And some, people came in and minted them out at 10, and then they started minting the Dom Epignon bottles, which are supposed to be used to um, to do the mutants. They did pay the artist half of what was owed for the mutant artwork, but yeah, we had to finish paying the mutant artist for the artwork too,
With your 300 XRP.
with my money
Coop was down. Coop's
because
down bad. Oh shit, bro. Oh, you're a good man. You're a good man, Coop.
I try to be.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
that was
Okay.
that was wild.
So let's talk about all right. So these mutant apes.
Uh-huh.
What's going on with them right now? Let's talk about it.
So we got the artwork finished, except for there are when they launched the original drops on Sologenic, there were 13 customs. There's the XRP King, the General, the Sheik, there's 13 of these. And then there were 13 custom top Gs, and then there were to be 13 custom mutant of these as well. Um, We don't have the artwork finished on the customs yet, but we have all the artwork finished on the ones to generate, and we built matching top G mutants. So I wrote a custom script to go through the metadata for the top G apes, and the layer names are the same of the mutants. It's just the artwork is different. So my script pulled the traits out of the top Gs and built new images of mutants with the same trait details. We have 4 of them currently minted, and they are viewable on XRP and XRP Cafe and Rand currently. I have not heard back from Sologenic or xrpnft.com about getting listed on their platforms. We have, so like I have a script that will mint these tokens, and we're just trying to sort of get them out slowly now because people have been waiting for these mutants for like at least a year. But at the same time, it takes me a good solid half hour to get the information from, like, if somebody opens a ticket in our Discord server and they want to claim a mutant, they need to send me the bottle. I need to burn the bottle. I need to verify their wallet holds the top D that they say that they want to claim the mutant of, and that mutant hasn't been minted yet. Then I need to go mint it and then transfer it to them, right? So it's like a good solid half hour per mutant right now.
Wow.
So I don't want, like, I'm doing this now, even though it's a huge time sink, because people want their dang mutants and they deserve their dang mutants. And in the meantime, we're doing this like once or twice a week, just minting a handful at a time. The rest of the week, we're working ourselves and with another project potentially to get a Discord bot set up that will allow users to register their wallet in our Discord, choose the top G that they want to mutate, make sure that that mutant doesn't exist yet, let them burn their bottle themselves and mint them the mutant then. And it'll be like an automated process. But until we have that all in place, it didn't make sense to make people wait any longer than they really had to. And I think a lot of people sort of like the exclusivity that comes with, ooh, I get to mint a mutant finally. I can only mint one, so that they're not coming out very quickly.
Oh, yeah, but that's I mean, a lot of heart goes into that, and I hope that
Mhm.
everyone is seeing that because telling you, Coop, I think you need a raise. All right.
We're gonna get a raise someday, I'll tell you.
With all you're going through, I hate to ask this question. I was gonna say, are there any perks or utilities with this NFT? But I don't even really want to ask you that after all you've gone through.
So, I mean, right now there's no financial incentive. You're not going to earn money right away from holding a money-minded ape. You will likely be able to flip, at least for break even. The floor price of the top Gs is up 10 XRP since Mr. K bailed. So it's like they're worth $5 more than they were 2 months ago. There is stuff that the community has discussed that is like, a lot of Money Minded Apes community members, including myself, always wanted the team to provide more utility to holders. And one of the ways that a few folks have discussed since they bailed is offering royalties that from the sales of secondary, from the sales on the secondary market, offering a portion of those royalties back to holders, or even all of it. I don't know. It depends what the expenses are as far as marketing and that kind of thing. Another thing the team before had promised was going to be merchandise, and we have we haven't had the time yet because we've been focused on getting these mutants built and minted. But between merchandise, royalties to holders, and the moolah distribution, one of those three is going to be our next main priority, and it's up to the community which one we prioritize first. And all of those three are planned, hopefully, for within the next 12 months. So
Awesome. Beautiful. Did I also see that you guys have merch available?
there's nothing available yet, but that is going to be one of our next priorities is to create some
Okay.
merchandise. And we'd like to offer we'd like to offer the folks that have been here with us for the longest time, the option to at least be able to receive some of this merchandise just for being loyal community members. We'd like to offer it for sale for USD to people
Mhm,
that want to buy more than one, piece of clothing, more than one hat, or people that don't hold our NFTs.
mhm.
And in the future, we'd like for the previous team had promised about a Moolah token and an XRP token. That was one of the first things I did because I don't know why they had such a hard time getting that issued. It just took me like one night with some code to issue this token. We just haven't started distributing it because we don't have the supply set in stone yet. And again, it's one of those things where I don't want to be the one that's telling everyone, okay, there's going to be 100 million moolah and you're going to get this much of it. I want the whole community to come in, whether you hold our NFTs or not, and provide at least some opinion on where you'd like to see the direction of the project go.
I love that. I love it. And guys, if you're watching and you have any questions, please go ahead and drop them in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. Is there anything that we haven't hit on yet, Tim or Coop, that you feel like we should have or that the community should know about?
The sky's the limit for us, believe me, because it is about educating people, right? And I'm not afraid to, you know, to put it out there and say, listen, you want to step up, you want to learn, not a problem. We have a plethora of knowledge, and knowledge is power. We're here to teach people, right? Because education, that's it. Yeah, but it's also real world, right? So giving people the opportunity to learn something, because I've been sitting idle for quite some time and I'm getting antsy. I want to do something. I want to teach people, right? So if I can teach somebody something of fabrication, whatever, fabricating work, because my background is extensive. I built a powder coating facility, the largest one on Long Island, 10 by 10 by 25-foot powder coating facility. And, you know, the proper way to go about getting the permits and all that stuff, that's utility right there. Just the aspect of being able to do that. But it's also, how do you scale something? How do you scale a business? You know, merchandise, yeah, that's fun. But that's not sustainable. It's not going to. It's going to give you a little bit of spending money. You want something that's going to drive and give, continuous uh, returns. And so it's just a matter of providing a service and physically, going out and doing something. So if it's maybe going to the local restaurant and look at the upholstery, right? You see the seats all ripped up. Believe me, there is an opportunity there, and we have the knowledge and resource to teach people how to do that, right? So it's an unorthodox approach to bringing the utility, because I haven't seen any projects that aren't that are bringing some kind of utility that's wants to make you run out and get it. I mean, there is so there are other projects when I say that there are no other ones, but the other projects are uh, that I'm in is music royalties, right? Where you own a portion of the masters along with the artists and top brand artists. But that's not, and I shared it with you guys last night. I'm geo-fenced, but I can tell you on mint.fun, I'll be able to get it. And I noticed that, right before I hopped on here. And believe me, I'm gonna go get, one of those. There's only 1,000 of them, and then you own a portion of the masters to uh that song, and you're getting paid, you know, and they have the whole outline of the contract. It's there, right? So it is a contractual agreement that you're getting, so is it a security? Yeah, it's a security. Okay, it's a security, you know, and so I mean, we give out some different um NFTs from other chains when when we do our Sunday night calls, and it's from base, because you know what, it is about brand recognition at this point, because when you start to look at the ecosystem, XRP's ecosystem, it's very tiny, you know, very tiny. And then the SEC lawsuit really, really, really caused a tremendous amount of damage to their growth, because people are scared. They're scared, oh my God, what's going on? But when you step back and zoom out and look at it and you say, well, you know what? They got the clarity because they stood up for what they believed in. And they said the one thing that really got me, I remember reading an article, and uh, it was an article that they quoted Brad Garlinghouse saying that they were on the right side of justice, not like Lehman Brothers. And I was like, wow. Now I have a lot of connection to Lehman Brothers because I worked for the CEO's management company doing custom work at his house in Northport, Huntington area, where my shop was. And I remember walking down that guy's dock, and he's got seaplanes out there. There's 7 seaplanes, and it's like, where's all this money coming from? And so I have a wealth of knowledge, and I just I know where to bring the utility and the service aspect, and how to scale and do all that stuff. It's just the unbroken chain of events that have transpired, has given me the time to do my research and learn. And then I look, and I'm like, okay. And that's where the name Look comes from. I'm going to show you where to look. That's it. You're going to look. That's it. I'm
I
not giving
love
you
it.
financial advice. That's right. It's your fiduciary responsibility, right? That's what you pay a financial advisor. But I can tell you, I call up. I think I have an account with Schwab, right? And I'm asking about this ticker symbol MMTLP, and the guy, his fiduciary responsibility is to tell me what's going on, and can't tell me anything. Absolutely nothing. It's like, okay, good. So I'm calling you up about, but my account got transferred from TD Ameritrade to Schwab, right? So what they do is they create that chaos and that confusion by trading your account over to this one, right? Because they were bought out by this other company, and it just buys them more time. That's all it does. I'm sick and tired of the bullshit. I really am. So, but knowledge is power, and so
Mhm.
that's what we're bringing you. We're bringing you information, and it's going to be unbiased. So that's what you get.
Love it. Love it. Coop, do you have any closing thoughts for us? Anything else on your mind?
I was just gonna say that we as an NFT community, we as an XRP investing and crypto investing community, we're all in a really good place right now. Um, it might get a little darker and stormier before the clouds really open up to the sunshine, but I do believe that that time is right around the corner, if not here already. And the only the only thing I would change if I could is that these people would have left sooner, and we could have gotten started sooner. I think that for a long time, many of the OG community members started to become a little weary that perhaps the previous founders did not have the community's best interest at heart. And I think that because some of the OG members started thinking that way, that also started a self-fulfilling prophecy of lower community engagement in money-minded apes. And now that Mr. K is gone, the sentiment across the board is thank fuck that guy is gone and that somebody else is taking care of this. And I hate to take any credit because it's not me, it's the whole community here. But the sentiment is that they're very thankful that somebody other than Mr. K is carrying things forward here. So
Love it. Well, I just love what you guys have done, and it speaks volumes about you and your character. So, just you guys should be really proud of yourselves and for what you do for the community. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Be sure to follow Coob on X at Coob_X. Follow Tim on X. He's at one caps LQQK2. And I have dropped all of their links into the chat, moneymindedapes.com. And you can follow Money Minded Apes at Money Minded Apes on X. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you spending some time to talk about the project and what's going on. I know a lot of people were kind of, wondering what was up because, it just seems so abrupt and everything, but I think it's really awesome what you're doing. So thanks, guys.
thank you very much for having us. This was an awesome time.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Peace out.
Sure. See you soon.